Hey everybody, this is Paddy from Odds on FPL, introducing this week's episode of Who to Captain according to the bookies. The point tallies are calculated from spread markets, which allows for the model to predict points for clean sheets, assists, and goals combined. FPL Review have been so kind to allow us to use their model for this series going forward. We'd recommend you check them out on Twitter at FPL Review and their website online. You can check this out by clicking the links in our description below. If you're a new viewer or an old one who's yet to subscribe, what are you waiting for? We're aiming to get 169 subscribers by the end of this game week, and we're only 69 subs away. Don't forget to also like this video and turn on notifications so that you won't miss a video going forward. Now, onto the video.
So guys, this week is midweek fixtures kicking off on the Tuesday, and because the game week period was so short, we're going to jump right into the top 5. So in 5th place we have Bruno Fernandes, 10.9 million, expected points of 6.02, and his fixture Sheffield United away. How are you lining this one up, Paddy?
So I sort of think United are a bit of a weird team. Away from home, Bruno looks fantastic. They really struggle when they have the ball. They seem to perform better in a counter-attacking style. Sheffield United this season, they've the worst possession percentage, which is sort of surprising considering like a lot of people would see them as sort of a possession-based team. They've only got 38.6%. It's lower than Newcastle. And Newcastle are always lambasted as one of the worst sides in the division.
Do you have any fear of Bruno being rested?
I don't have a fear of it. They need to get points. They need to win. Ole's job sort of seems a bit more precarious after going out in the Champions League. But I think they need points here. The only thing I can think here is just it's United.
Yeah, I'm in the same opinion pretty much. I don't think he gets rested. Me personally, I'm captaining.
It's probably a good pick, yeah. I think the thing with odds is away players always end up with lower point tallies. So if you're looking at this on like a head-to-head where it's just a neutral fixture, like there'll be no fans in the ground. So realistically, it's going to be a neutral fixture. I think last year, Sheffield United massively outperformed their XG against. They just seemed so much better because of the fact they had Dean Henderson in goal. This year they've Ramsdale. Ramsdale doesn't inspire confidence. It could be a game where Martial finally starts to perform if he plays. Sheffield United as well, their attackers show no threat offensively. I think the one actual worry that I do sort of have in this game, I don't know if a lot of people would even consider it, is Wilder could try something extremely unique here. And I think if he does, they get destroyed.
So in 4th place this week, we've Jamie Vardy, cost price 10.3 million, expected points 6.09, and he's playing at home to Everton. How are you thinking after Everton's result, Paddy?
I think we both thought Everton would not have got that result.
Never mind the result. I didn't even think they'd get a clean sheet. I think that was very surprising.
You obviously watched it more passionately than I did.
Yeah, I was very, very surprised. Chelsea looked out of sorts. They didn't look good at all. Everton, they did look composed. A lot of questions people are asking from a few Everton fan forums is, did we defend better because we don't have James Rodriguez, so somebody else falls back?
Gylfi played well, apparently.
Gylfi did play well. He's still terrible, but he had a decent game.
Big bucks.
There was a bit of an argument between him and McCarlson over the video in case anybody
the penalty
the
as
penalty,
well.
Sorry, yeah.
I think for this game week, like we were discussing Vardy last week, we had contrasting opinions. I said he was a captaincy shout. Got that one right.
Yeah, what a performance for him. What was
Pity I didn't cap him though.
2 assists on a goal.
Yeah, he seems to be in form again. The points he's had over the last 4 weeks are 28 points, 2 goals, 3 assists. Against Everton, it's just an unknown, really. They could show up with the sort of form defensively that they had against Chelsea, or they could be the Everton we've known to grow, and in your case, love
to hate them.
Yeah.
I don't think he's a captaincy pick. I don't think
No.
Everton concede 2 or 3, and that's what I'd be looking for my striker to score.
I was thinking about binning him off, but my team has just got so many gaps in it right now that I'm just worried that I've got bigger spots to worry about. So Jamie Vardy stays on my team, but he's not even a vice captain.
In 3rd place this week, we have Mo Salah, cost price 12.3 million, expected points 6.19. Liverpool at home to Spurs. And how are you feeling about Salah after his performance just there?
He got the goal late. It was a penalty which Camara gave away. Silly penalty to give away. He had a chance late at the end of the first half. Could have scored. But a surprise he didn't. And then he had a shot from distance as well, which Areola saved well. The thing with this fixture is Liverpool have won the last 5 of them. And they just seem to have the run of things against Spurs. But against Fulham, they looked weak. Defensively, they looked weak. They were playing Fabinho and Henderson at centre back. It's really hard to know, especially against a Spurs side where Son and Kane just look so goal happy lately. It could be a game where Klopp tries to rein it in a little bit and tries to ensure they don't concede goals. What do you think, Shanna?
Yeah, I'm not feeling him as a captaincy pick. I think at most he gets a goal, maybe a goal and an assist. Like Spurs can just do the Jose Mourinho special and just sit back, and
Yeah.
you won't expect Liverpool to really break them down. Like I don't see Mourinho going out attacking Liverpool, even
No.
the fact they're so weak defensively right now. Like Son and Kane will aim to hit them on the counter. So for me, he's not a pick this week. He's not even on my radar to pick him this week, to be honest.
The one thing that I do sort of note, which I found quite interesting, was that in the game against Fulham, Fulham looked very good. They have so much pace offensively, and Loftus-Cheek, he's just way, way above their level. I think against the midfields where there's a bit more talent in it, Liverpool could get an upset, could be upset here.
I'm going to give Liverpool a major benefit out of the doubt here and say Fulham only looked that good because they were playing at home in front of their fans. It's the first time their fans were there with them.
Fulham have looked good though. The game against Leicester, I think Fulham could stay up, and I wrote them off. For this game, if I didn't have a City player, Salah would probably be my captain. Him or Bruno. It's not that attractive of a fixture for me, especially considering the form of Spurs.
Number 2 this week is Raheem Sterling, cost price 11.4 million, expected 0.7.11 at home to West Brom. Paddy, you brought him in a while ago. You were pretty happy with how we returned on that day. How are you feeling now about him?
Well, I binned them off. So it was a short-term punt. I had the choice between keeping Sterling for West Brom or keeping Bruno for Sheffield United, and I didn't want to double up with Man City. Man City just don't seem like they're taking it all. Did you watch the game against Man United? They looked insipid. Johnny, you paid a tenner for that, didn't you?
I did pay a tenner for that, and I've already complained about it that I want my money back. I can't believe it.
How do you think Sterling did?
Oh, well, he really needs to work on his touch, and that touch reminds me of when he was first at Liverpool, to be honest. It just looked so all over the place. It looked so bad.
Thing with Sterling in this game was that I genuinely was more noticing his hairstyle than his actual ability, because they were just awful. There were some chances where he was played through, but he just didn't look great. I think against West Brom, you generally look at West Brom as a fixture that you could pick players against where teams like City are going to do well against. But West Brom's statistics are sort of misleading in a way.
Yeah, I think like if you were to look at this fixture a couple of years ago, you would have expected Sterling to get like 4 goals and City to win 7-0. Like now, this could only be a 2-0.
Yeah, but
so I'm not really confident on them.
I think for his price point, I'd be more interested in another City attacker, somebody like perhaps our number 1 pick.
And with that, we will go into our number 1 pick of Kevin De Bruyne, cost 11.8 million, expected points 8.13, and at home to West Brom. So he's obviously higher expected points than Sterling. How are you feeling about him? You captaining him?
I have Kevin De Bruyne on my team, and I'm going to captain him. He's a bona fide pick. He's my captain. It's not going to change. With Kevin De Bruyne, you're guaranteed the minutes. You're guaranteed the actual chances. He takes free kicks. He's probably going to be on penalties. I don't think Aguero is going to be back. The one issue that I do have with this fixture is, on paper, you look at West Brom. They've conceded 25 goals in 12 games, over 2 a game. But then if you discount the 2 games where they conceded 5 against Palace and Everton, both of those games they conceded 5 when they got red cards. 4 of which in the Palace game were after the red card, 3 of which were after the red card in the Everton game. So then if you look at that, then there's only 10 games where they've conceded 15 goals. So that's 1.5 a game, which is far more respectable. And it's actually one of the better amounts of goals conceded in the league. So it's really two different sides defensively. It's a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde scenario where you don't really know what you're going to get here. If they get a red card, it could be goals. But if not, I could really see West Brom being quite rigid and making it difficult for a City side which just haven't been ticking.
To be honest, I was really surprised they lost to Newcastle, given I think Bruce lied a little bit about Newcastle being so under prep for that game. Yeah, they looked okay. I didn't watch the game in full, but they didn't look as bad as I expected.
Shano, if you're watching West Brom against Newcastle,
I've definitely got an addiction problem to fantasy football.
Oh yeah.
I watched the Villa game instead, and then I kind of just zoned out for a while. But
no, I can't. I couldn't force myself to watch that.
Yeah, if I had Wilson, I would have watched it, and if I had brought Wilson in, I would have been very angry.
Imagine if you brought him in and captained him like somebody in our money league. That would have been tragic. Poor John. Oh god. But yeah, I think Kevin De Bruyne for me is the clear captaincy choice this week. I do think Salah could be a good one. I also think Bruno could be a good one. It's the sort of game week where if you get the captaincy right, and it's not like one of those game weeks where everybody scores 14 points and everybody's happy with their captaincy. It's the kind of week where you can make up a lot of ground in your leagues. And I think sometimes, let's say if you're behind like Shano is, it's better to go for a differential. Or if you're ahead in your money leagues like I am, it's probably safer to go for a Kevin De Bruyne. Would you agree with that?
Let's just put this in context here. You're 30 points ahead of me. It is not massive at all. Both of us have had amazing seasons so far.
Oh yeah. I'm top 10k. You're top 100k. We're both doing very well.
Yeah, I'm just going with Bruno for the fact that
Sheffield United.
Sheffield United, and I just think that Kevin De Bruyne, although he's been getting assists, his goals have been penalties, so I just haven't been. Right, so on to the differential pick. We've already confirmed that Kevin De Bruyne is the bookies' favourite this week. Who are you feeling as a differential this week, Paddy?
I've already said I'm going to be picking Kevin De Bruyne, and that's not going to change. But if I did really want to go for a differential, somebody who's sort of like tickled my fancy over the last couple of game weeks since he's come back from injury has been Danny Ings. He looked fantastic against Sheffield United. He's just making great runs off the ball. He's scoring goals. He looks back to fitness. He's somebody who I want in my team pretty soon. He's got a good fixture as well against Arsenal. I know on paper and the bookies don't think it, but Arsenal look out of sorts. We called it last week. They look terrible.
I think Bamford against Newcastle, I think he can return quite well.
Are they at home or away?
Leeds are at home to Newcastle.
Ooh, Bamford doesn't play well at home.
Bamford is fine. He won the penalty against West Ham United.
True.
I do like him. He looked very good against Everton a couple of weeks ago. He blanked, but he had a couple of chances. So yeah, no, I'm going to stick with Bamford.
Hey, yeah, so thanks for listening as always. This audio, for some reason, is really difficult to record. Really? But yeah, thanks again for listening. That's Gameweek 13. This end outro is going to sound terrible. But if you like the rest of this video, apart from this, do subscribe, leave a like, you know. Cheers. Adios.